guys, welcome to this week's Friday Waffle. Now, apologies about the lack of a live one. I was meant to be meeting up with On Boys Post 1975 tonight to do a live waffle. Unfortunately, Dave has got to go into work, so I was going to do a live waffle and I thought, nah, you know what, I think I've been doing enough live streams for a wee bit. I'll just go back to a normal Friday Waffle with some games in the background. So it's not going to be a long one, said the vicar to the nun. Now I do see that every week, and it usually kind of rambles on. So how are you? I hope you're all kind of bearing up with this thing. Yeah, just mental. I've kind of been quite quiet this week. I'm still technically working for my last job, or my current job, I suppose you would call it. But I've not been doing a great deal. Now, I'm delighted to say that I've actually managed to get a job with my old company. It is only temporary, but you know what? It's an income, and that's an important thing. So I'm actually starting back with them next Tuesday. So I've this week has pretty much been a sort of a week off, but you know what? It's something that I really needed, because I went from my old job and then I jumped straight into the new job, and like I says, the new job was just horrendous. It really was. I could talk forever about the different things, about the job, but I don't want to, because it's boring. But I've never really had a proper summer holiday at all last year, so I've kind of enjoyed having this week not doing very much. I've been doing wee kind of bits and pieces, but it's been nice just to kind of have a week just to kind of chill out and sort of recharge the batteries. So that's where it's been. Gaming wise, what have I been doing? I was playing my Spectrum Next a couple of nights ago. I've got a new computer table. I was rejigging my daughter's bedroom, and she had a computer table in her room, which she'd got a computer on it, but it's quite low powered, and because of that she never ever used the damn thing. So I took that out of her bedroom last weekend, and I was going to throw the computer table in the bin, and I thought, wait a minute, that thing that I've got is horrible, it's just a piece of crap. So I've put this, it's an IKEA job, I think it was Argos I got it from, didn't cost a lot of money. I've got that in my computer room, and it actually looks pretty well, excuse me. Excuse me. Oh dearie me. It actually looks the part. It looks pretty good. And yeah, you can see I have got my Inverness Marathon t-shirt on. I actually went out a run this morning. When I say a run, I went out for, I think it's like 1.5 miles. Which is nothing, I used to run 40 miles a week. I thought nothing of going out for a 10-mile run, 4 years ago. Now the thought of running 3 miles absolutely terrifies me. But I just thought, you know what, it's a start. So the plan is to get back to running every single day, just for 10 minutes, 10, 20 minutes, whatever it'll be, and then gradually kind of build it up, because I really want to get back to the proper running, because it's a thing that I really enjoyed for many years, and I'm upset that I've kind of let myself get out of it so much. So yeah, so I've been doing, I've been doing a bit of running. Ran this morning. Not been doing a great deal. I have been trying to get some videos put together, because I've been conscious that for the last probably 4 months, my video output, apart from live streams, has virtually dried up, and I don't want that to happen. It's not been deliberate. It's just been all the other sort of crap that's been going on in my life. So I've done a few videos which I will be putting out over the next sort of week or so. I did get together a couple of familiar characters last night for a follow-up video, so that'll be getting put out on probably Sunday. I've actually just finished editing it, so I'll probably release that on Sunday night. Yeah, so that's kind of pretty much been it. The coronavirus, I didn't really want to mention it, but I suppose it would be daft kind of not to. Obviously, just following the news. Still very sad when you see the number of people dying. they seem to be, I wouldn't say fairly optimistic, but they seem to be, you know, thinking that we're going to get to the peak of the outbreak, at which point, you know, things should start to kind of slow down and we should see less infections. I think already they're getting less infections and ultimately less deaths, which is the important thing. And then, you know, the sooner this country kind of hopefully gets back to what it should be, the better, because it's so weird, it's so difficult, just things that you take for granted you can't do now, you know. So I hope everybody's staying safe. You know, I've been okay. Like I says, you know, being a video gamer, I suppose self-isolating isn't actually that bad, because, you know, I've got a million different computer systems and 10 million different games to play. So, you know, plus a YouTube channel, and I've got to say, the YouTube channel has been a bit of a revelation for me the last couple of weeks. You're not being able to get out, not being able to see friends or family and really mixing with anybody. It's been an absolute joy to be able to go onto YouTube and just meet up with friends on there. You know, it's really helped me, and it's, you know, it's great to have all you guys coming along and watching the videos and taking part in the live streams. You know, that's been excellent. So yeah, listen, I'm just going to crack on with the questions. You know, I picked this up and I didn't even have a drink of it, excuse me. Nice. So yeah, I'm just going to batter straight on with the questions or comments. The oldie gamer Steve, great waffle mate, but Jesus, that sounds scary about that guy harassing you. Must have been terrible to deal with, and I'm so sorry about your job. But with this damn virus, it's going to be quite some time until firms start recruiting again. What about starting something like a Patreon? I'm sure a lot of your fans, and we don't like that word fans, will happily throw a few quid in. It doesn't have to be permanent, just until you get a job. In my opinion, it would be money well spent. Even though I'm disabled and poor, I'd still toss in a few quid to help. And that's had a few thumbs up. Listen, Steve, thanks very much for even suggesting that. I've always made my stance pretty clear on Patreon. I don't see anything wrong with it. If channels want to have Patreon, then why should they not? It's their prerogative. It's not, there's no pressure on somebody to give money. But I've never ever felt comfortable taking money. Like I says, yeah, I do monetize the channel, but that's me basically getting some money from Google. So I don't see that as the same thing. Even though I haven't a clue how to actually get the money out. I think I'm up to £185 now for like 4 years monetization. So it's not a full-time job, kids. Don't think you can do YouTube and you know, do it full-time unless you're extremely lucky. But yeah, as I say, for me personally, I would not feel comfortable about taking money. There are people far worse off than me that, you know, I couldn't, even if I was going to lose my house, I would not accept people's money. And I've got to say, there's I go on all the time about how, you know, good YouTube is. I mean, I had a friend on YouTube on the phone to me a couple of days ago, and he basically, he said he was quite concerned about me, and he told me that he would be able to give me some money if I needed it. And you know what, when you think that this is somebody who I've never met in real life, it's only somebody that I know through YouTube, for somebody to actually make that kind of gesture just says it all to me about how wonderful the internet is, you know, and it means so much. And like I say, Steve, you know, it's really kind of you to actually say that you'd throw some money in. I've always said, if somebody really wants to give me money and I'll fling it to charity. I would not keep anything for myself. I know people, I mean, my pet hate is channels that before the video even starts, they just say, if you'd like to help support the channel and buy a new camera, then please give to Patreon and, you know, hit that subscribe button. I don't know. I just think that's tantamount to begging, and it really, really irritates me. It annoys me no end that people ask for money. You know, why not be like the rest of us and just buy your own equipment out your own pocket? You know, so yeah. But like I say, Steve, thanks very much, mate. I do appreciate the offer, but Patreon isn't something I'm going to do. But you know, I do really, really appreciate what you've said. Batman, a horrible experience, I'm sure. I bet it never occurred to that guy that perhaps he was at fault and that's why he lost the job. There are some people out there who will accept no fault for themselves whatsoever and always look to blame others. Yeah, unfortunately, Bat, you get that in everyday life. Right. Mr. Stephen Thomber, just a general question for you, mate. Even though I'm old as hell with a ton of problems, I consider myself to be incredibly lucky indeed. The fact that I was around in the 70s and 80s when gaming exploded, to me it was an absolute joy that I still treasure to this day. So, do you consider yourself to be very lucky to have lived through the glorious gaming days of the 80s? Or do you perhaps think about what games are going to be like in 50 or 70 years' time and wish you were around for them instead? Absolutely not, Steve. I'm 100% with you, mate. As I've gotten older, I realise that although I own all the new systems, I have very little interest in modern systems, modern games. In fact, I do sometimes wonder why I still insist in kind of keeping up to date with stuff. I don't know, I think I'm still intrigued. I mean, I do like technology, I do like, you know, VR. I do really like VR. So I do like technology, but I just think to have been alive at the very, very start of the video game industry. I mean, I've touched on it quite a few times in various waffles over the years. It was a very, very special time because, you know, here was this new thing that had just popped up. You know, before video games, TV was just, you know, it was a passive thing. You could only watch it. You couldn't interact with TV at all. And then along came video games, and it allowed you to interact with this display. And I don't know what it was that just when I saw my first video game, that was it. That was in my heart, you know, and that interest has never left me. But what I find quite interesting was, I mean, quite a few of my mates, you know, my best mate who we kind of grew up together with computers, he was massively into video games. And then when it kind of got to sort of PlayStation, he kind of just stopped playing video games. And I always wondered why some people, you know, a hobby like video games, it's with them forever, whereas other people, they grow out of it. For me, I've never grown out of video games. I still get excited with video games. You know, hence the reason I can talk for Britain about video games. But no, just being around the arcades in the early 80s with Space Invaders, Galaxian, Pac-Man, all these machines, and then getting a home computer and loading up your first game, and the realisation that you were able to play, you know, a really, really shit version of Donkey Kong at home was just so, so special. And, you know, kids now will never understand what that was like. You know, they'll never ever understand that, because, I mean, kids like my daughter, she's always had video games, you know, and, you know, the games that she is used to playing have amazing graphics. You can play online, and it's just what they expect. That's what they know. Whereas we were there at the very, very beginning when it was just a cottage industry, and going from real basic graphics like Pong to Space Invaders to a Spectrum, Commodore 64, and then Atari ST, and then Amiga, and then your Mega Drive, and then ultimately your PC. You know, and then like the current consoles, the PlayStation 4. we've been there right through, seeing the hobby evolve and getting more and more, technically advanced. But for me, the technically advancements haven't really excited me. I do still like to see, oh, that's amazing, and will I get a PlayStation 5? Probably. In fact, yeah, of course I'll get a PlayStation 5 if I can afford it. But no, I would absolutely not. I wouldn't swap. I would love to be young again. I don't like being old. I don't like the fact that I've maybe got 20 years left before I kick the bucket. I would wish I was young again. But no, I am so blessed and consider myself lucky, just like yourself, Stephen, to have lived through this whole thing. It's an amazing thing. It's something that you have to experience to really fully understand just what it was like to be around video games and watch them grow, watch technology advance, and see the games, get better and better. So great question, thank you very much, Stephen. ZX Renew, stay safe, mate. We're all in the same boat. Yeah, thank you, buddy. Ray C, we enjoy listening to your life journey, Al. There aren't negatives at all. I hope it's a nice release for you all, so keep smiling. Thanks very much, Ray. Mr. Batman, nice waffle, sir, and good to watch as ever. Sorry to hear. Hang on a wee second. Sorry to hear about the job situation. You are a good chap, and I'm confident you will sort something out sooner rather than later. All the very best to you. Thanks, Pat. You know what? There's two ways to deal with a situation. It's to be negative or be positive, and I would say 90% of the time I'm a positive person, and you've got to believe that you're going to come out the other end, and I do believe that. I do believe that. I do believe I will get another job. So I'm absolutely fine. Since we're in this lockdown situation, gaming has helped fill quite a bit of time, and I'm sure it's this way for a lot of us. I've been working through some of my systems, VIC-20 gaming one day, Atari XC the next, onto some C64, then Spectrum. You know what, I keep meaning to do that, and I do kind of do it from time to time. I mean, what was I playing? I was playing... what was I playing? I was playing the BBC last week, I think it was, or the week before. And I was playing my Spectrum next. I do try and do that. I'll think to myself, right, I'm going to devote a night to one system. I've also been playing my Raspberry Pi, and whilst that gives you more games than you can ever dream of, one thing struck me: emulation. As good as it is, there is some indefinable barrier between me and the game. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's not a massive barrier by any means, but I just felt that ultimately original hardware controllers with an SD card add-on just feels so much more authentic than a generic pad and a crystal clear display HDMI for me made for a better experience. I know some of us want to do all the tape disc loading too, but I can take or leave that bit. Obviously emulation plays a vital role in your channel and is a necessity, but when you're gaming alone or with friends, do you feel that real hardware trumps emulation? Or is it just about the game experience itself and that emulation does the job regardless? No, I've always said that if I'm ever going to play a game for fun, I will. If I've got the real hardware, I'll always play it in the hardware. I think for me, playing a game on a PC, you're sitting in a computer desk. You're using an Xbox 360 controller, and you're loading it through clicking a mouse, and you've got this crystal clear, HD display. Although it's the same game, it's more than just about the game. It's about the experience. It's about sitting on a couch with a proper controller on a CRT TV using the hardware. So if I'm ever going to play a Commodore 64 game or a Spectrum game for fun, I will always use real hardware. I'm a massive fan of emulation. I mean, I was emulating long before I started kind of gathering real hardware again. And to me that filled a gap. It was great being able to play all the Spectrum games and games for systems that I'm never going to own, like the Sharp X68000. Oh, what else? Loads of different machines. The fact that games are so expensive as well, being able to still play them on an emulator is wonderful. But I will always use real hardware, because there is something about it. I mean, sometimes if I'm playing an 8-bit game, I'll actually go through the process of loading it. Yeah, I won't use a tape, because I don't own a tape recorder, but I will go through, I'll load it in real time on an SD card, so you've got to watch the whole loading experience, and that for me is part of the experience. If I play a C64 game on an emulator, chances are I'll play it for 30 seconds and I'll switch it off, whereas if I'm playing it if I'm playing it on a Commodore 64 actual bit hardware, there is more chance of me actually playing it for longer. So yeah, whilst I'm a massive fan of emulation, and like you're saying, but I couldn't really do my channel without it. I know a lot of people, think, oh, you're cheating, you're using emulators. It would be, if I was to use real hardware for my channel, it would take me so much longer, and the quality, I know you'd find this hard to believe, the quality will actually be worse than what I already put out, because I'd have to point a phone at a TV, and it's going to be squint, it's going to have light reflections on it, the sound isn't going to be as good, and ultimately it's going to take a lot longer to actually put a video together. I mean, if I was to try and do an arcade perfect my arse, it would turn into an absolutely monumental, huge job to do. So for my channel, I will always stick to emulators, but for actual playing games, I'll always stick to real hardware. So yeah, definitely. And I think a big part of that as well is the controller. Playing a Spectrum game using a SNES pad just doesn't really feel right, not at all. But anyway, listen, thanks for the question. But Refraction PCX X2, Alex, sorry to hear about your job, matey. I hope you'll land on your feet soon. Thanks very much, Alex. Milty Swinbuckle, hello again, Mainmeister. Any job that you've been in for a month or two and you still find yourself miserable in, after giving it your best shot, cannot have been worth it. The money might be good, but state of mind and general health of yourself should always come first. They say stress is one of the biggest killers, so take some time off. After all, we ain't got much choice at the moment. Enjoy sitting in the house, de-stress and chill out, and that's exactly what I've done, Milfy. It's just a pity that all it takes is one arsehole to spoil things. I've had similar experiences in the past with jobs, and I bet a few other people on here have as well, so I can empathise with what you were going through. Anyway, enough of that bollocks, on to the important stuff. Question for Nick's Waffle. Are there any games you like that it appears no one else does? Games you think are criminally overlooked or get a bad reputation, but you love to play? Off the top of my head, I can think of two for myself. First is the C64 game Thundercats. Nobody likes this game apart from me. It's got great music by Rob Hubbard and fast seat-of-your-pants gameplay. Okay, it's also bloody hard and sometimes a bit unfair, but a great game nevertheless. Secondly, there's an arcade game called Power Play that no one seems to know anything about. It's an excellent one-on-one football game where you can punch the opposing player. Discovered this game through me many years ago and still play it regularly to this day. Is there any games that people say are shit? Well, I suppose Kenny Berserk. A lot of people used to say that Berserk was rubbish, and I always thought I thought that myself with Berserk, and I realised it's a great game. I love it. Can't think of any game in particular. I mean, the one game, like I says, that I enjoy is Zombie in the Spectrum. It was a sequel to Ant Attack by Sandy White, and it never really got much exposure. People never really talk about it, but I think it's a fantastic game. In fact, it was a game I was playing in my live stream a couple of weeks ago, and there was also the Formula 1 by CRL on the Spectrum, which again, I've mentioned this a million times. It was when my mate and I swapped computers. I had the C64, he had the Spectrum, and we decided to swap computers for a couple of days, and I was going through his C90s and I loaded up this game, and I just thought, and I was addicted to it. I put it on, I don't know, at midnight, and then 5 hours later, or 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm still sitting playing this game, and it's not a game that anyone has ever mentioned until I thought I was the only person that was aware of the game. So that was a good game, but I can't think of any game that people say is bad, but I think is good. There's plenty of games that people say are good and I think are crap, but that's for another waffle. Now I can't think of any offhand. Any arcade games? I mean, most arcade games are pretty damn good. No, I can't really think of any, Milfy, apart from these two. But anyway, listen, thanks for your question, buddy. P.S. In the high score challenge, I should point out that geezer called Jonathan Strickland, who posts his score on Facebook, usually pretty pathetic ones. That is me. Good to know that, Jonathan. But you'll always be known to me as Milfy. Seneku Munjul, a personal question, not game related at all, so I understand if you don't want to answer it, but are you in any way related to Sir John Young, Jackie Stewart, the legendary F1 driver? I wish I could say I was related to Jackie Stewart, but as far as I'm aware, no. The answer is a firm no. Now saying that, we do share the same surname, so it's perfectly possible that we do have a distant, we're related, somewhere down the line. But there are quite a few Stewarts in Scotland, so I would say, unfortunately, no. I certainly don't have his money anyway, that would be nice. Stephen Thomber again, he was just saying, sorry about your job, I hope you get something soon. In the time being, if you're short of anything, just ask, and I'm sure you can help. Yeah, we can help. Like I says, Stephen, it doesn't astonish me, but it really gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling in my tummy. The fact that people who have never actually met and I only know through the internet, the fact that you guys, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. That you would actually offer help like that. That just says it all. How wonderful this little community is. So, thank you very, very much. Colin Jones, sad to hear the new job didn't work out, but you're better off without that atmosphere. The stress that causes is very unhealthy. On a positive note, no car for now gives a better opportunity for bike use. Once this lockdown is over, I'm sure you'll find a better job in no time. Yeah, like I says, Colin, onwards and upwards. I'm glad to be away from the job, and like I says, I've got a start in another job on Tuesday, albeit it is only temporary, but hopefully I'll get something between now and when that one finishes. I love when people talk about the early days of computing. It reminds me how far we've all come. It's a collection of real life Genesis stories, and I'm happy to have lived through it. I think we appreciate what we have now more than those born into the technological age for this reason. That's exactly what we were talking about earlier on. Tony Walker, sorry to hear about the end of the job, but it sounds like it was hell. You're better off in a new direction, mate. Yeah, thanks, Tony. I'm sure that's going to work out. Ben Dust, well, best about of that shite show. Whoops, a daisy. Time to... sorry, I keep hitting the wrong comment. Time to move on and hopefully do something you enjoy. Life is way too short to stay in a job you hate. Absolutely, 100% agree with you, Ben. JP, hi Alan, I think you should try Deliveroo at weekends. It's great fun for your bike. I can help you. I'm from Glasgow and help you along the way. Is this like delivering messages or something, is it? Delivering pizza, possibly? Yeah, let me know what that's about. Brian C, hang in there Alan, how did you get into computers? I think when I'm on Mastermind, my specialist subject will be Mainmeister 1978 to 1988. I hope the world sorts itself out in a few months' time and the regulars of this fine channel can meet for a few drinks and a game of pool, and we can discuss how the Amstrad was really a lot better than the C64. That's never going to happen, Brian, the last part. But yeah, you know what, I would not argue against... I think Brian has a more intimate knowledge of my history with games than anybody, including myself, because he's been there. I think he was subscriber number 2, so he's been there from the very beginning. But you know what? That would be. I think we should try and make that happen. Once this does pass, then I think we should try and get a get together. You know, we'll definitely go for that. One Boys Post 1975. So sorry, mate, about all that crap that's been shoved your way. You're a great bloke and deserve much better. Stay strong and safe, and remember, you've got some good friends who are always here for you. I don't know if you still have Messenger after the last time we touched base, but if you do, send me your mobile number and feel free to hit me up whenever you want to talk about it. Yeah, listen, Dave, thanks, mate. You know, it really means a lot, and I know you and I have spoken on the phone about stuff, so I do appreciate your friendship. Gorgas, oh, I can't even see that. Ugh. What's that? Gorgas Loredan? I'm using my phone and it's tiny. Sorry to hear about the problems you've been having. Sounds like you've been under severe stress there. I think you've had a blessing in disguise with the redundancy. That much stress can lead to real bad health problems. If you can't get away from it, hope things get better from now on. Make the most of your daily exercise entitlement, get out in the fresh air and get yourself super fit. Well, that's the idea, Gorgas. Hopefully, I don't know if I'm going to get super fit, but I'm certainly hopefully going to try and get back to being less chubby and fat. One switch, good luck, fella. Some people just can't see beyond their own noses when it comes to how things sometimes have to work for people in middle management and the choices they have to make. Don't blame you for getting out of that bollocks. I could relate to a lot of the early gaming memories, including going to the airport for an evening's entertainment. For a young kid, it's fantastic seeing all these huge machinery, especially if lucky enough to see one take off or land. I remember a cosmic gorilla and a missile command at Southend Airport and playing the demo as that was free when you had no money. Oh, really? That's interesting, didn't know that. Also remember flicking the power switch on our Atari VCS to try and get the game variations effects. Good job my parents didn't catch me doing it, or I would have taken a justifiable roasting. Hope everything pans out for you soon and everyone else. Thanks very much, buddy. And Blutonic 78. Sorry to hear about your job, Alan. That said, it never really sounded like you were truly happy there. Obviously, this whole coronavirus is sweeping the globe right now, so finding a job anytime soon may be tricky, but once we're all back to normal, then you can start with a clean slate, onwards and upwards and all that. Stay safe during these times, mate. Thanks, Alex, and it's the same to yourself, buddy. Like I said, I do appreciate your help. And Stevie Paperboy, alright Alan, watching your video from Blackburn, West Lothian, not far from you as you know. I watch a lot of your videos and have a lot of similar experiences to you growing up in Armadale, but like you, I'm going through a bad time at a new place of work and I'm having a terrible time, so know what you went through. So just to let you know, keep up the videos as they do cheer me up, Stevie. No worries, Stevie. Listen, mate, I hope things do get better. And as others have said, you know, life is too short, mate. Maybe it's time to kind of think about trying to get something else. Although I know it's not easy at the moment, but yeah, I hope things do improve for you, buddy. Bangkok Ian 1967. Sorry to hear about your job situation, but I'm sure you'll get another very soon, mate. Fantastic history of your video gaming journey. Thank you very much, Ian. Nice to hear from you, buddy, and I hope you're doing okay. Charlie Farr, sorry to hear about the job situation. It must have been very scary to be harassed. It sounds like you're better off out at Alan. As you rightly say, it's only temporary and things will come along. Thank you very much, Dave. And Mark Lactobacillus Prime, the world is upside down at the moment. Not having the security of a job is tough, and perhaps even more so during these times. But eventually you'll be better off without a job that you dread. Sorry you have to go through this trouble with that weird one harassing you online. Hope it will turn around for you. The personal gaming history was good to listen to, very relatable, and with the washing machine doing its cycles in the background, it all felt very homely. I didn't even pick up on that, to be honest with you, Mark. Panther UK, better off out of it, mate. Oops, nothing wrong with a good waffle either. How about a question for the next waffle? You spoke about your Texas computer in the waffle, and it's not a system I'm familiar with. did it have any redeeming features at all, and have you ever revisited it via emulation to see if it's got any good games or any good games are developed for it? I've you know what, Chris, I have got an emulator for it, but I've always found it quite tricky to get working, so I've never really had much a chance to kind of get stuck into it. But I have played one or two games on it, and you know what, it's actually not a bad computer. Unfortunately, it says I only had one game for it, and it was absolutely shit. So I never really got to see just what it was capable of. But yeah, it wasn't a good machine. I mean, I kind of think of it on a par with like the Dragon 32, but it's certainly capable, more capable than I actually knew it was. I mean, aesthetically, it was quite a pretty looking machine. But like I says, I mean, in fact, I did actually buy a Texas, and it didn't work. I don't know why I bought it. I think I bought it just because I wanted to. It was like I wanted to own a little bit of kind of my past, my childhood. But like I said, I had one game and it was crap. And the emulator I've got for it is a wee bit hit and miss. But I think there are some good games. So is it Parsec? I think it was. Was that a Defender clone? I'm sure that's meant to be pretty good. So thank you for your comments, Chris, and I think we're almost at the very end. And yet the last one from GTB Films. It's my mate Alan. Sorry to hear about this. It's a horrible feeling knowing you've made a bad job decision. It's happened to me 3 times. Once I knew on the second day I'd made the wrong decision and spent the next few months trying desperately to get out. Something new will come up, however, and you'll look back and think I learned something there. Sounds like Wilco was a pretty decent wage payer. My first job in 1988 paid a whopping £1.35 an hour. I thought it was amazing. You could afford to buy a £7.95 album on cassette or a new Spectrum game every single day if you wanted. And I did comment in your question, Alan, or in your comment. I think you're right. Something niggles me at £1.35. I was certainly on the minimum wage back in whenever it was 1983. So, but as long as I had enough money to buy a Commodore 64 game, I was extremely happy. So anyway, listen guys, that is it. It's not been a very, very exciting waffle, but hopefully having all these wonderful games around you has helped to kind of enhance the experience. So anyway guys, listen, as always, thanks to all your fantastic support. I hope you all stay safe through these worrying times at the moment. And as always guys, thanks very, very much for watching.